On June 15th, 1989, in Port St. Joe, Florida, a woman on her regular visit to a local convenience store observed something odd in the parking lot. A Polaroid photo was lying face down in an empty parking space next to her car, coincidentally the same space where she noticed a windowless Toyota cargo van parked before she entered the store. Intrigued, she grabbed the Polaroid, only to discover an unsettling image. A young boy and a teenage girl lying in the back of a van, their arms tied behind their backs and their mouths taped with black duct tape. The woman immediately contacts the police, initiating an extensive and unsuccessful search for the van. Law enforcement had no idea where the van went and no idea who the minors were in the photograph. In July, this photo gained exposure on the Fox TV show A Current Affair, drawing the attention of Patty Dole and David Calico, who lived over 1,500 miles away in New Mexico. They were certain that the teenage female in the photo was their missing daughter, Tara Calico, but was it really her? We'll dive into these unanswered questions and theories in this bizarre and tragic case in this installment of the Shelldrake Files. Tara Calico, a 19-year-old with a promising future, was cherished by both her friends and her family. As a sophomore at the University of New Mexico, she was not only dedicated to her studies, but was also an avid biker and fitness enthusiast. Balancing out her academic pursuits, she held a part-time job at a local bank. Patty, her mother, fondly described her as having boundless energy and enthusiasm. Her daily routine included cycling along a familiar route. She would leave her mother's home and ride along New Mexico Highway 47. On the morning of September 20th, 1988, Tara did just that, leaving around 9:30 a.m., telling her mother she planned to follow her usual route, which was about 34 miles long and normally took about 2 hours. Patty normally went along on these bike rides, but on that particular day, she chose not to go. She had started to feel uneasy about certain drivers along the route, suspecting that some might be tailing them. This concern led her to urge Tara to carry pepper spray for self-defense. Tara, riding her neon pink Huffy mountain bike and listening to a white Sony Walkman with headphones, was expected back around noon, as she had plans to join her boyfriend for lunch. When she didn't arrive back as expected, Patty drove the route Tara had taken. When Patty returned and Tara still wasn't home, she checked with Tara's boyfriend to see if she had made it for the lunch date. When Tara hadn't shown up there either, Patty knew something was wrong. She immediately called the police and reported her daughter missing. Despite an extensive search, neither Tara nor the bike was found. However, a witness reported seeing Tara's bike alongside of Highway 47 near an older light-colored pickup with a camper shell. The witness saw a man and a woman in the truck, both described as being in their mid-20s with short hair, and the man had a mustache. Notably, the witness didn't see Tara or notice any sign of a struggle. Despite this lead, the investigation hit a dead end, as the police couldn't identify the couple or find any additional evidence. Later that day, her Walkman and cassette tape were discovered on the side of the road a few miles from where her bike was seen, with the Walkman appearing to have been run over by a vehicle. The community of Bala, New Mexico, along with local authorities, joined forces to search the expansive and desolate scrubland along Highway 47, but their efforts proved fruitless. It wasn't until June 19, 1989, that the police received another lead. Authorities in Port St. Joe, Florida, released the Polaroid photo in hopes of generating new leads. The photo quickly gained national attention, ultimately finding its way to Patty Dole and David Calico. Upon claiming that the girl in the photo could be their daughter, local police sent it for analysis. The identity of the boy in the Polaroid has never been confirmed, but police believed it was likely 9-year-old Michael Henley, who had gone missing while camping with his family in the Zuni Mountains, just 75 miles from Tara Calico's home. But in June of 1990, Henley's remains were discovered in the Zunis, approximately 7 miles from the campsite where he was last seen. Police now theorize that Henley wandered off, became lost, and died of exposure. The Polaroid was then sent for analysis by the world-renowned Scotland Yard, which concluded that the teenage girl in the photo was Tara Calico. However, follow-up testing at the Los Alamos National Laboratory disagreed with that assessment. FBI analysis proved inconclusive. The only reliable information they obtained was from the Polaroid company, who verified that the type of film used had only become available in May of 1989. Despite varied interpretations among investigators, Tara's parents were firm in their belief that the photo was for certain their daughter, drawing on a couple pieces of evidence. One piece is the presence of a paperback copy of J.C. Andrews's My Sweet Audrina beside the girl in the photo. This book was known to be a favorite of Tara's, adding weight to her parents' belief regarding the photo's authenticity. Tara's mother also saw a scar on the young woman's leg that seemed identical to one Tara acquired in a childhood car accident. This Polaroid, featuring the two minors, has emerged as one of the most haunting and contentious pieces of evidence in this case. Over the years, it's undergone extensive analysis and debate, with numerous experts asserting that the individual in the photo is indeed Tara. Nevertheless, others have dismissed the picture as a hoax. The lack of conclusive evidence has given rise to a myriad of theories over the years. One of the most straightforward theories circulating amongst investigators suggests a simple car accident. Some believe Tara was hit by a car while biking along Highway 47, and the driver, in an attempt not to get caught, took the body and disposed of it somehow, somewhere. While this is plausible, others suspect a more sinister motive behind Tara's disappearance. Certain investigators entertain the possibility that Tara may have fallen victim to David Parker Ray, also known as the Toy Box Killer. Ray was arrested and charged with kidnapping and torture in 1999, with suspicions of involvement in several murders. During a search of his property, authorities discovered a cassette tape where Ray discussed the abduction of a woman on a bike. Nevertheless, no conclusive evidence ever linked Ray to Tara Calico's disappearance, and he died in prison in 2002. Additionally, new photos have surfaced, sparking speculation about their connection to the case. The first was discovered near a construction site in Montecito, California. It's a blurry photograph depicting a young woman's face with suspected tape covering her mouth and a light blue striped fabric in the background. The fabric appears similar to the fabric in the Florida Polaroid. However, this photo was taken on film not available for purchase until June 1989. The second image shows a woman loosely bound, her eyes covered with gauze and sporting black framed glasses. She has a male companion seated next to her on an Amtrak train. The film used for this photo was not available until February of 1990. Investigators had varied responses to these images. However, Tara's mother maintains that the first photo from Florida bears a striking resemblance to Tara. Throughout the years, numerous suspects have been considered, but one in particular stands out as the most likely, or, at the very least, seems to be connected to the crime by the most evidence. This suspect is Lawrence Romero Jr., a convicted killer who served time in a New Mexico prison. Notably, he is the son of the then Valencia County Sheriff, Lawrence Romero Sr. During that period, he operated as a drug dealer in the Baylen area where Tara lived. According to public court documents, In 2013, a former inmate asserted that Romero had confessed to killing Tara Calico. However, Romero has consistently denied any involvement in the case, and no physical evidence has been uncovered linking him to the crime. Romero died in 2019. However, some believe that, due to him being the sheriff's son, any involvement Lawrence Jr. had was covered up. The inmate who came forward indicated that Lawrence said he inadvertently hit her with his truck. At that time, in a panic, they took her, sexually assaulted and murdered her before disposing of her body. Despite these claims, the case remained unsolved. In 2013, a cold case task force, made up of 6 detectives, was put together to reinvestigate the Calico case. As of October 2019, the FBI offered a $20,000 reward for specific details regarding the disappearance of Tara Calico, along with any information leading to the arrest and conviction of those responsible. In September 2021, the Valencia County Sheriff's Office, along with the New Mexico State Police, announced a new lead in the now decades-old case pertaining to a sealed warrant for an undisclosed private residence within Valencia County. On June 13, 2023, the Sheriff's Office announced a breakthrough in the case. Sheriff Denise Vigil spoke at a press conference and said, "At this time, law enforcement believes there is sufficient evidence to submit the investigation to the District Attorney's Office for review of potential charges. Currently, the identities and specifics of the persons of interest are sealed by the court and will remain so until a court orders otherwise." No additional details have been announced since, so we'll all have to wait and see if someone is finally charged in the case. Tara's mother, Patty, passed away in 2006, followed by her stepfather, John, in 2022. Although a judge declared Tara dead by homicide in 1998, and despite relocating to Florida in the early 2000s, they maintained a bedroom for Tara exactly as it was on the day she disappeared. Each year, on her birthday and at Christmas, they placed wrapped gifts on her bed, holding on to hope that she might one day return to them. This year, Tara would have celebrated her 54th birthday. So, that's going to do it for this episode of the Shelldrake Files. If you enjoyed the episode, and this is the kind of content you're into, hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. So for all of us here at the Shelldrake Files, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time.